So I just got back from Philly Comic-Con. I've never been to the Philadelphia Comic-Con before. Went down Friday night after work, took the bus. Saturday, we did mostly panels. And this is what I want to talk to everybody about. There's definitely a kind of etiquette about panels at conventions that some people either don't realize or blatantly ignore. First and foremost, never, under any circumstances, open your question with, "I've never seen the show, but..." That is the quickest way to get the crap kicked out of you. For example, all 5 Star Trek captains. I'm talking Kirk, Picard, Sisko, Janeway, and Archer, all on one stage for the first time ever. And the first question at the panel was asked by some guy who started it with, "I'm not a Trekkie, I've only seen one episode," and then proceeded to ask William Shatner about horses. And then he asked Kate Mulgrew about her role in Equus, which, by the way, he got wrong and admitted he'd never seen her in it. That's just asking for you to get your ass kicked. Don't disrespect Star Trek. I don't care if you've never seen the show. I've gone to panels of shows I've never seen. Sometimes you just like the actor. Sometimes it's fun. Sometimes you're sitting in the room waiting for the Avengers and you have to sit through the panels before then if you want a good seat. Never, ever start your question by admitting that you've never seen it, because that is when 98% of the audience swivels around to look at you, to memorize what you look like so that when they see you later, they can kick you. No hugs. Yeah, it's cool that Chris Hemsworth was awesome and wanted to hug you, but when you only have half an hour to ask him questions, wasting the time to walk up there so that he can give you a hug is kind of disrespectful to everyone else in the audience. The line of people that might want to ask him something. You want a hug? You wait in line at the autograph table or the photograph place when it's just you and not 50,000 other people waiting. I actually think that all audience questions at panels should be submitted in writing in advance so that you can weed out the really stupid ones. Everybody always asks the same thing. Now granted, not everybody goes to every convention. I don't go to every convention, but most of the questions people ask are asked at every panel that the actors do. And if you want to find out the answer, odds are you can just Google it or look it up on YouTube, because I guarantee you there's 5 different videos of somebody answering the same question you just asked. Actually, there's this really great story. Tom Wilson, the guy that plays Biff in the Back to the Future movies, has taken to carrying around like a laminated card where he's written out the answers to the questions he gets asked all the time, and then he just hands them out to people. That should totally be like standard operating procedure for most celebrities. I mean, kudos to you that you actually had the courage to go up to the microphone and ask a question. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade because that's probably a high point of people's lives. But have you ever seen videos of celebrities where they get kind of pissy when they're answering a question? That's because they've been asked that same question 8,000 times and they're getting tired of repeating the answer. Not everybody has the same mentality when it comes to approaching things that they're fans of, but you gotta think that if you shelled out the money to go to a convention, odds are you're probably a big enough fan of something that you're willing to do a little reading. So you've probably read or seen or heard interviews with them where they probably answered that question in one form or another. Why don't you think of something different? And it's not like you don't know you're going to the convention. I've only ever had the balls to ask one question at a panel. It was at Chicago TARDIS a couple of years ago. Kai and Gareth, I don't think took me seriously. I asked Kai and Gareth that if they were appliances, what appliances would they be? I had a burning need to know that answer. I could not sleep at night without knowing that Gareth would be a coffee pot. Conventions are supposed to be fun. Conventions are supposed to be where fans of all ages and sizes and shapes and colors and creeds get together to fangirl or boy over stuff. But you have to admit that when you have something momentous like all 5 Star Trek captains on stage for the first time ever, and people are asking them questions about horses, you kind of want to hit things. Most likely the person asking a question about horses. Why were you even at a Star Trek panel if you're not a fan of Star Trek? I do not understand people. Also, what does everybody feel the need to preface their question with, "My question is," or "I have a question"? Of course you have a question. You're at the microphone. And yes, Chris Hemsworth is attractive, but do we really need 5 separate women saying that? You don't need to say that you're a fan and that you think the show is awesome. Obviously, you think the show is awesome. You're at the panel for it. I generally don't go to panels of shows I don't like. I know people get nervous. I get nervous. You know, and I'm not trying to piss on anybody that's ever done this kind of stuff, because I know that I always plan what I'm going to say to celebrities, and then when I'm actually confronted with them, my mind kind of goes to mush, and I'm like, bleh, and like verbal diarrhea all over them. But these are the things that I think when I'm sitting there at a panel listening to the fourth person go, my question is this. My question is why I'm still letting you stand in front of that microphone. Why haven't I taken the microphone away from you? Why didn't I bring food with me? In conclusion, all celebrities should carry an FAQ sheet with them. People need to plan out their questions in advance. Hugs afterwards. I don't know, what do you think?